Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursdays at 3. I am Annika Spalding. I am the host of Thursdays at 3. I'm the Community Relations Director here at the Amarillo Little Theater. And this is Thursdays at 3. It's a weekly show where I go live and tell you about all the amazing things happening at ALT. And for those of you in the know, it's been a happening week at ALT this week. Real happening, lots going on. We'll get to that later, but let's just go ahead and dive right in. We had a very successful winter theater camp for kindergarten through fourth grade. My daughter Liv got to be a part of it, and it was such a fun showcase. All the actors did such a great job. All of the counselors, huge shout out to Harrison Stringer and his team of counselors who were so amazing with these kids and put on such a fun showcase. And I actually have a quick clip from the very, very end, their little curtain call of their showcase. So let's watch that real quick. Look at those sweet kids. Oh my gosh, they had the time of their lives. We are so grateful that that camp was there since we have this 3-week holiday break. The kids have something fun to look forward to and do. I know my daughter was very sad when it was over. We had some post-camp blues, let me just tell you. So be on the lookout for summer camps this summer, because you're definitely going to want to register your kiddos for that. It's such a great time, and they make friends and learn all about putting shows together, and it's just such a great time. Let me tell you real quick too about Rent. Yay, Rent. So our cast is deep in rehearsals for Rent. They just started blocking rehearsals. They've been in music and choreography rehearsals, and blocking just started last night. I had lunch with Jason today, and he was telling me, our managing artistic director, and he was telling me all about how great their first blocking rehearsal went last night. So be on the lookout for box office ticket sales to start for that. There's going to be events and fun things going on. So be on the lookout for all things Rent. And also, Academy Spring registration is now open. So classes start on January 16th, and you can register your student or yourself. There are adult classes too, until the end of that week that classes start. So you can register up until the 22nd, but try to register early if you can, because some classes do have a tendency to fill up. You can register by calling our box office at 806-355-9991 or go online at amarillolittletheater.org. Make sure and do that, because these classes are so great, so much fun. There's lots of different classes to choose from depending on your age, depending on what you're interested in. And the way that you do that, if you do go to our website, is you're going to go to our website, and right up there at the top where it says Academy, you're going to click on that and then click on Academy Classes. Then that's going to take you to our available classes. You can see here in the purple is where you're going to click. You just click on the class that you're looking for the correct age bracket, and you can register from there online. While we're talking about that, we have an adult acting intensive class that's happening on Mondays from 7 to 8:30, and it needs more people. This is taught by Jamie McBride, and it's going to be so much fun. You're going to learn all things theater. You're definitely going to feel way more confident at your next audition. If you've never auditioned at ALT before, this would be a great foray into that. Make some friends, feel a little bit more comfortable on stage. And if you have auditioned at ALT before, just hone those skills and, get a little intensive acting training. It just makes you a little bit more comfortable at those auditions or when you're part of a show. I highly recommend that. I also want to let you know that our Showstoppers show choir, our high school show choir, is currently selling Groovy Pop popcorn starting at just $10 to fundraise for their big New York City trip in February, where they're going to be, no big deal, singing at Lincoln Center with Broadway stars and, no big deal at all. So be on the lookout for showstoppers or seek them out to get Groovy Pop popcorn from them. There's all different types that you can choose from. If you want to, you can get in touch. If you don't know a showstopper, you can get in touch with our Academy Director, Harrison, at AmarilloLittleTheater.org, and he will set you up with a showstopper to buy Groovy Pop popcorn from. However, the deadline is tomorrow. So get that popcorn before tomorrow and help them fundraise, have a delicious snack, and help them fundraise for their New York City trip. And you can feel really, really good about eating your Groovy Pop popcorn. So make sure to do that. Okay, the time has come to discuss the play that goes wrong. Okay, so ticket sales are officially back on. We had to pause for a moment, but they are officially back on. You can get in touch with our box office by calling 806-355-9991 or go to our website at AmarilloLittleTheater.org to get your tickets for the play that goes wrong. So, our box office has been in the thick of it, getting things switched over to our new show dates and times. As you can see there, our original show dates, the 11th through the 21st, are crossed out. That's not just cute. That's actually functional. We have switched our show dates from January 11th through the 21st to our new dates, which are January 18th through the 28th. So originally, tonight would have been preview night for the play that goes wrong, but something went wrong. Something went very, very wrong at rehearsals. Unfortunately, our sweet Jenny Morgan had an unfortunate injury during rehearsal, but she is recovering so well. She is in great spirits. And if you know Jenny Morgan, you know that that is no surprise at all. It's also no surprise that I understand that when it happened, she was as chill and calm as could be. It was like, I think I broke my wrist. Just kind of matter of fact. We were able to push the show's opening date back by a week, as you could tell by that graphic that I just showed you, in order for the cast to make some necessary and exciting and very fun changes that we'll also talk about later. So for those of us in the ALT community, let's rally around this cast and give them all the support that we can. They deserve it. They've been working so, so hard. And speaking of rallying around our people, if you get a chance to stop by our box office or call our box office and speak to our amazing, amazing, incredible box office beauties, Joe and Lissa, please offer them your thanks and encouragement. They have had a week getting tickets switched over and accommodating our incredibly loyal patrons. The phones have been ringing off the hook. I can tell you, I'm up here in the light booth in my office, and that phone does not stop ringing, which is wonderful. But it's a lot for them. It's a lot for them. It's a great problem to have, but just make sure you offer your support to those beautiful ladies if you get a chance to see or speak to them, because they are incredible and the world doesn't deserve them, and neither do we. So make sure to give them a hug or just offer them your thanks and encouragement, because they've had a time. And they're going to get everything ironed out, because that's who they are and they're amazing and we're very lucky to have them. But it's been a week. I also want to tell you about our very exciting partnership with the Amarillo Public Library and the Canyon Area Library. So we have set up, if you know, you know, we've done this throughout the season, but it's very exciting. If you know anyone who may not be able to afford a ticket to the theater, or who has never been at the theater before and wants to kind of soft launch themselves into being a theater patron, this is a great way to do that. You can check out tickets to ALT shows through your card membership at these libraries, at the Amarillo Public Library or the Canyon Area Library. We have a limited number of tickets set up at both of those libraries, where you can take your card and just like checking out a book, you can check out tickets to see our shows. So get in contact with those libraries wherever you are a card holder and get your reservations to come and see the play that goes wrong. really, really exciting and kind of a great way to get introduced to the theater. So if you or someone you know might be interested in that, please, please pass the word along, because we really want to take advantage of that great partnership with them. And we want to thank the Amarillo Public Library and the Canyon Area Library for partnering with us on that, because we really want to introduce the theater to as many people as we possibly can and get more of our community involved at ALT, because it's the place to be. Let me show you some exciting, if you haven't seen them on our social media already, we have some great photos of the Play That Goes Wrong cast. Check this out. Look at these gorgeous, gorgeous people. I cannot wait to see this show. I know so little about it, and just the things that I'm hearing are so exciting. I cannot wait to be in the audience for this show. I mean, look at Brooks Boyette. Come on. Like, this needs to be a meme. This is like me during the 2024 election cycle. Okay. Like, this is incredible. Look at this one. Andy Justice is not starring in the Play That Goes Wrong. I am thrilled to not work with this cast. I am so pumped about be on the lookout for our social media for all these great graphics to pop up. We have so many exciting things coming to share with you. So just check out our social media for that. And speaking of our social media, if you love and support ALT, like, comment, share. When you see our social media posts, interact with them in some way, because it helps us, spread the word to people who may not know about us, to let them know that we're here and that we want them to come see shows, and we want them to audition for shows, and we want them to volunteer to help out with shows. We just want to spread the word about ALT and get more and more and more of our amazing community involved in our theater. So interact with our social media whenever you get the chance. Speaking again of the Play That Goes Wrong, it is time to sign up for ushering in concessions for the season's most hysterical play. It's going to be very busy. The person speaking to you there is Lissa, our volunteer coordinator. So Lissa would appreciate each and every one of you coming to help. So if you can, take a look at our, I'm sure Raquel will post a graphic with maybe a QR code or something like that. She typically does that. Or Lissa will send out an email to those of you on our email list to be able to sign up for ushering in concessions to help us out. This will be a great show to do that, because there's going to be lots of audience interaction. I don't want to give anything away, but just if you want to help with that, it'll be a fun one to do. So I highly encourage you to do that. Okay, it's my favorite time of the week, y'all. Let's do our volunteer of the week. Harrison and I are going crazy dancing back here. I'm very, very happy that none of you can see that. You're not missing anything. Sorry, Harrison, you know I'm right. Our volunteer of the week this week is our very own Nels Bjork. Congratulations, Nels. This is him pictured here with his stage daughter, Veruca Salt, in our fall production of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And he was absolutely incredible. And if you didn't get to hear his glorious voice, I am so sorry for you. But I am told by our technical director, Noah Lang, that Nels filled a last-minute crew position for the Play That Goes Wrong. We always, always want to show immense gratitude to anyone who fills in at all, but especially last minute when we're desperately in need of people. Nels, thank you for stepping up to the plate. He has done that so many times. Nels did that during If Then about this time last year. I'm so grateful to him for that. He is just an all-around great guy and so willing to help and, throw himself into the ring with ALT. Nels, we are so grateful for you. So he filled that last minute crew position for the Play That Goes Wrong. And he's just been, according to things that I'm hearing, all around helpful during rehearsals for that show. He helped Noah drill things. I don't know what that means. He helped Noah drill lots of things that needed drilling before rehearsal. And he makes extra sure that snacks don't go to waste, which, we don't like to be wasteful around here. And so Nels, slow clap for you. Thank you so much for not letting any snacks go to waste. You're amazing. Please, if you know Nels, let him know, shoot him a text or something and let him know that he's our volunteer of the week, and make sure to have him at least watch this little snippet of Thursdays at 3 so that he can know how much we love and adore him and how grateful we are for him. So Nels, thank you for being our volunteer of the week, and really more than a week, because you are volunteer like of the years. You're always willing to throw yourself in the ring and help us whenever we need you. And ALT is very grateful for you. I speak on behalf of all of ALT when I say that. So thank you so much. Okay, I don't want to wait any longer. We've waited long enough. Let's get to the bottom of some things and talk to our director for The Play That Goes Wrong, Callie Hisek, and cast member and our Academy director, Harrison Stringer. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, we got to talk a little bit before the show, and you guys have been through it this week. Are you okay?
Yeah.
No, we're great.
You guys
We really
No, I think we're good. And of course Harrison will correct me, but we've been in good spirits. You know, we have spent so much positive energy and thought and prayers towards Jenny, but we're still laughing. We're still having a good time at rehearsals. So I think that's what's important. And Jenny is constantly keeping us updated, and she is a trooper. And yeah, she was cool as a cucumber, and it was just, hold please, I think I broke my wrist. That was pretty much how it happened in tech.
Sorry, y'all.
I don't mean to interrupt, but can we hold for a second?
I mean, if we're talking about an ALT warrior, Jenny Morgan is like the epitome. That is, that it surprises me in exactly 0 ways that she was like that. So Callie, for those of the people watching who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and how you came to direct for ALT?
Yes. So as Annika said, my name is Callie Hisek. I'm actually an associate professor at West Texas A&M University in the theater program. And I just met Alan, I don't even know how long ago, it was like 5 years ago. And he said, would you like to direct pageant play? And I said, sure. And that's where I first met Jenny and Jason, amongst other amazing people that are still a part of my life. And then I've just been directing on and off at ALT since then, whenever my schedule at the university allows. And so Jason and I met this summer, and he asked me to do it. And I said, heck yes, I'll do it. Because I love this show. So yeah, the last show that I think I directed was Little Women.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we're very, very glad to have you, Callie.
I'm so excited to be back.
Oh my gosh. You were so helpful with intimacy choreography during If Then, and you're just so incredibly talented. We're very, very glad to have you. And I'm so glad that the cast and crew for this show has had you at the helm to kind of help guide them through this process, because, you know, it takes a lot of like patience and, you know, intestinal fortitude to get through something.
I do. I love ALT, and I was so excited to come back and thank you for all of those amazing things. And it's outside of Sunday night, it has been a complete joy to be working with this company and to see old faces again. And coming in. And yes, I could not, also side note, could not agree more with Nels being volunteer of the week. He is amazing in so many ways, like always a smile, always positive. So it's awesome.
Yeah, we really love Nels. Harrison, so we know and love you as our Academy director, but can you tell us a little bit about your character in this show?
Yeah, with pleasure.
Where do we begin?
I play, so this show has layers, right? So I play an actor named Dennis Tide, who is an amateur performer in the Cornley Drama Society's production of Murder of Abersham Manor, where he plays Perkins, the butler.
Okay.
Dennis is love it. I'm trying to talk about him with care, because he really is so not sharp. He notoriously dropping lines, has lines written on his hand. And I will be honest, a lot of the things that go wrong in the show are Dennis's fault. So it's a lot of fun to just be sort of clueless and
Yeah.
have everyone on stage be mad at me a lot.
Uh-huh.
It's so entertaining because he's really well-meaning too, and that's where the comedy comes from.
Oh,
He's really
yeah.
trying his best. It would be one thing if he was just purposefully messing everyone up, but he's trying his best and just making things go wrong.
He has no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Dennis. So Callie, can you give us kind of a breakdown without giving anything away, obviously, of what the show is about?
Yes. So, as Harrison started to allude, we are experiencing the Cornley Dramatic Society. They are, in our intents and purposes, a touring company coming to Amarillo. And they have an amazing murder mystery story to tell, the murder at Haversham Manor. And so that is their role. They're here to basically tell that story. And it is in the process of telling the murder mystery, the murder of Haversham Manor, that everything goes wrong.
Okay.
So there is layers to this. This is not, I mean, it's not complicated. It's not like we're going through a lot of like metaverse trying to, figure things out. But what is key is that each of our actors, like Harrison said, has two names, right? They are playing Dennis, who is playing Perkins. Jenny is playing Sandra, who is playing Florence. So in the world of it, the audience is coming to watch this group perform the murder at Haversham Manor. And while they are there to hear the murder mystery, things happen, things go wrong, and that is where the comedy comes into it. Is without really saying anything. Our goal is to tell the murder mystery. And our entire element is, thinking of how would we tell the story of the murder mystery? And then we add the layer of, well, Dennis just did that, so here's the consequences of it, and everything else. And so if you have ever been, what I always tell people, if you've ever been a part of a production, whether it's crew or performer, and you have those rehearsals, we were like, oh, this was the worst rehearsal because this happened and this happened and that happened. Chances are it happens in the show.
Okay.
So there's, you name it, something's going to happen. So there is a character named Chris, and it is his directorial debut for this. And he lets you know that you're here to see the mystery. And he tries very hard to keep that murder mystery going, despite the rest of his castmates.
Got it.
I hope that helps. I guess, Harrison, would that be about right?
Yeah, I think that's perfect description. Yeah.
Well, Meredith Vasquez says, I cannot wait to see it. So same Meredith. I feel exactly the same way. So Harrison, a show like this, I feel like is probably requiring a lot of like keen observation and improv skills and comedic timing. How has it been navigating all those things with this cast?
Yeah. Speaking
of layers.
It's so much fun. But yes, it is so much work at the same time.
Yeah.
But this company has taken it all so seriously, but also had the fun that's required of it at the same time. I knew auditioning for the show, I knew going in, I'm going to be tired at the end of rehearsals. At least physically, I knew that. But there is the mental stamina that it requires to know exactly where you're standing every moment of these 2 hours.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could actually get hit by something and hurt by something. And just the pace that we have to keep up so it doesn't drag. It just like all of these things. It takes a mental stamina that I wasn't totally aware of before starting it. But this company is just so supportive, and we all have taken our jobs so with such pride, I think. And that's why we were so excited to present it this weekend. But now we're just adding even more polishing touches, adding more laughs where we can. Callie just said last night, she said she consistently has a headache because we can't stop laughing at everywhere.
It's so true.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
It's so true.
Oh my gosh. I was going to ask you, Callie, how would you respond to that same question? Like, how, from your perspective, how has this cast navigated what it takes to put something like this on?
Beautifully. I think Harrison just also just really articulated it very well. Is this show? It is a fine balance between laughter and safety. It truly is. I mean, there was things that I was saying in rehearsals. I was like, I never in my entire life thought I would be saying these things. And I can't say any of them because it's going to give things away.
Right.
But it is truly that they are so encouraging of each other. They are just they're laughing with each other. It is a good sense of, oh, you may have improvised that line tonight, but I'm going to one up you in like the most artistic and amazing way. There are some moments where we're all just like, what's going to be said? Like, what is going to happen? But they very much navigate the line of, oh, this would be really funny. But then we go, but in the context of the murder mystery, does it make sense? And if it's no, they're just like right there to be like, oh yeah, we can't do that. So I have been living in a constant state of headache because of the like we are laughing so much during this process. And this is an amazing company of actors. Sean, our production assistant, Kendall, my assistant director, and fight choreographer, like they're just on point this entire time. And it has just been just a delight. But yeah, I think Harrison said it best, that mental stamina as well as physical stamina is taking its toll on all of us.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. I want to get to some comments because Callie, your mama is here and says, that's my girl. And then she says, so proud of you, Callie. And then she says, wish we could see it also, mom and dad in Iowa.
Oh, I love my mom and dad.
Oh, it's so nice to hear from supportive family. I love that. So glad you're here, Mary. Okay. So what can audiences expect? This is like such a loaded question, but what can audiences expect when they come and see this show?
Dramatic acting, a very serious description of a classic murder mystery that only Agatha Christie can do. Yeah, I would say that would be. Harrison, would you agree?
Yes. Yeah, I would say so. And also expect, it's so cliche to say, but expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
There are certainly some things that'll go wrong that you'll see coming, but there will be other things that will entirely throw you off guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I think it is our hope that it is 2 hours of laughter.
Yeah. I think from the sounds of it, I think it absolutely will be. I think it's unavoidable.
Yeah, there is a mixture. There's moments where improv is encouraged, moments where we're just throwing in some lines because we're like, why not? Things that we, because that we have just run with and we are not hiding, because we have a very tall actor in our cast and we use that to full advantage.
Like won't fit on set pieces tall.
Right. So we're gonna use it and we're gonna do that. But no, it's hopefully it'll be just 2 hours of pure joy and laughter and just the unexpected.
Yeah. Who doesn't need that? I mean,
know, right?
Who does not need that? Callie, you have another supporter. Proud of you too. Love you, Cal.
My older sister.
Oh, the whole family's watching. That's amazing.
I know.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Okay, so Callie, I'm not a director, but I would imagine that comedies to a degree might be more difficult to direct than dramas. Would you agree?
Absolutely. 100%.
And why would you say that?
Because we all I actually talk about this in my directing class, believe it or not, because when you have a dramatic text or something that has a lot of weight or a powerful message, you know how to convey that. You know how to tell that story.
Right.
We all have different senses of humor. We all find different things funny. We are a Three Stooges type of fan, or a Melissa McCarthy type of fan, or you are a Noel Coward, loving the wit, Aaron Sorkin type of comedy, right?
Yeah.
comedy runs the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you are directing a comedy, you have to try and hit all of those, right? I have a completely different sense of humor. I can be very dry, and so I have to find the physical comedy. What is that? And so directing comedies to me are the hardest, because you have to think of, okay, I don't find that funny, but like my assistant director found it funny, or another cast member found it funny. Right. So is it valid? Do we keep it in? Mm-hmm. Or something that we all thought was hilarious 3 weeks ago mm-hmm. is no longer funny now. And so we have to evaluate, was it funny because it was an inside joke? Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, the audience won't get it. So we have to change it. So there's so many layers. And honestly, mm-hmm. I just having a conversation with my brother-in-law about this too, of mm-hmm. Comedy actors don't get enough credit. It is in my opinion, it is way harder to be a comedic actor than a dramatic one. Mm-hmm. Again, just because of the nature. Don't get me wrong. They're both amazing. There's not one is better than the other. Right. But comedy, in my opinion, is extremely difficult because we all have a different sense of humor. Yeah. And so you have 2 hours, in our case is 2 hours of trying to make sure that every single audience member is laughing at something or continually laughing. Right. Yeah. And I think this is huge credit to the writers of the play that goes wrong, because man, whether it's language or physical or just comedy of situation, like they get all of them in. Mm-hmm. So they really made my job a lot easier because we wrote a brilliant piece of work. But comedy is way harder to do, in my opinion, as a director.
Well, and that's such a great way to articulate that too, about people having different senses of humor. Mm-hmm. Like that's such a great way to think about it, because I think you're right. It would be so much more difficult to make an entire room of almost 500 people laugh when they all find different things funny. I love how you articulated that.
Oh, thank you.
Harrison, this is the first show that you've performed since becoming our Academy director. Yeah. Has it felt good to be back in the game?
Oh, yeah. So fun.
We've been so excited to get you back on stage. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's probably my first love, I would say. And have found all of these other new loves, but it feels like coming home in so many ways. Not only physically coming home where I was raised, but being back up there where I used to perform since 2009 when I was 10 years old is just it's a bit surreal, but so lovely. And with this show specifically, it's a dream show of mine. So yeah, it's just been a dream come true.
And he's doing real well.
I'm surprised in no way. So with a company like this, doing a show like this, that, as we were saying earlier, requires improv skills. You have to be observant to what's happening so that you can appropriately respond to it. Did the members of this cast really know each other that well? I know people kind of knew of each other, but as far as like being, I don't think that was happening up until rehearsal started. And I would imagine it would have had to have happened by now for a company to come together and do what they're doing. So Callie, can you speak to that?
Yeah, I can speak as an outsider, watching the actors do their thing. I mean, I think that they knew each other. That I think back to that first rehearsal that we had, and they were saying hi to each other. Like it was very much like, oh, I've been on stage with you before, or I saw you in this, and whatever. But now I can't get them to leave the theater at night. I'm like, let's go. I am the last one to leave, so please stop talking. Yeah. Let's get, they are chit-chatting all the time. Like I said, encouraging each other. They are laughing at each other. Like I will look up in rehearsals and see them in the wings just giggling at what somebody is doing on stage. Just constant support. And I think that there's been some new friendships that have been created. Zeke and Brooks always hated each other. And so trying to get those two to get along has been like my biggest struggle. No, I think those were the only two that really, from my perspective, like knew each other and we're like, where are we going to have our moment? But they've really come together. And yeah, from my, again, outsider watching them interact on breaks and stuff. But I would say, yes, they've become very close. I think also it's because of the nature of the show, needing to trust each other, because there are lines that are there's cue lines that you would have as an actor that you would not think are logical. And they have to be right there. And it's the timing of a physical act or whatever. And they have to be in tune with each other. And I think they are. And definitely when, you know, Jenny got hurt, you could definitely see that they were a strong unit. They are a strong unit.
Harrison, how would you speak to that?
I would totally agree. Coming in, I was familiar with nearly everybody, but even some people I hadn't had the pleasure of meeting yet. But now, at the end of this, we are, like Callie was saying, just pretty inseparable. Because I agree, it necessitates the show. It necessitates such a trust, like she was saying. I completely agree with everything she said. That in this show specifically too, I love that we've had our crew with us from the beginning. With every show, it's a fact that you can't do it without your crew, but this show specifically, someone has to make it go wrong, right? And
otherwise it's going too well.
Right. So if things aren't falling at the right time, if all of these things, not only could somebody possibly get hurt, but that's where all the comedy is. And it's in those split seconds. And I think Callie was so genius to have the Cornley Drama Society crew with us from day one, watching our rehearsal, and being there with us and getting to know them as well, because they're all lovely humans and contribute so much to the show, not as much in the spotlight as some of us, but are just absolutely major players in it. So it's been such a pleasure, truly.
Oh, and while we're talking about your Cornley Drama Society crew, I want to give a shout out to our crew, Noah Lang and Brandon Campumi and Michael Villarreal. This set, which we rented, they have zhuzhed it up, and that is an understatement.
Majorly.
That is an understatement.
You guys would know way more than I would. But it is so impressive to look at, and I can't even imagine actually being on stage and using it and what it started out as and what it's become since. Callie, you would know more about that.
Yeah. We started rehearsal with just a picture, right? I had no, we weren't able to get a ground plan. I had no idea what props we were getting, what was going on. So I had a picture that I basically guesstimated on, and then I found out that we were having the chaise and the clock, so I said, okay, great. And so we did 2 weeks of blocking without really any knowledge of what we were getting. And then the set came up and we were like, okay. And then I swear I saw it, and then they had their weekend where everybody came up and I had this whole picture, and then 2 days later it was changed again, and then it just they all three of them are amazing humans. ALT is so lucky to have them. And I would text Noah of like, okay, so these are the things that we discovered at rehearsal. And then by the time I got into that night rehearsal, he goes, I got these things done. I'm still working on this. It should be done for you tomorrow. And I'm like, this is a dream. The painting that they have done, the small little things that they've added to the set has been amazing. And Noah said, we got it one way, but we're going to give the next theater, we're going to give it to them even better. And no joke with that. Everything their concern for the actors as well is amazing. I feel like I'm saying amazing a lot, but I don't know what better word to use for them.
Hey.
But
call it like you see it.
Yeah, they are on top of it. They have made me just feel at ease with a lot of stuff. I didn't feel like everything had to be last minute. I didn't feel like I had to try and do all of this on my own or try to be like, oh, all these things, all of them, especially Noah, was like, oh, yeah, we got that taken care of. This was a concern. What about this? Always throwing suggestions out there. helping me in every way, shape, and form. And then would be at rehearsals for certain things just to make sure that the actors felt comfortable, the actors felt good, and just, yeah. But it is beginning photos of what we got with this set to now, night and day.
Amazing. You know, you hear about, you know, theater people in the know that with improv, it's yes and. And Noah Lang, our technical director, is a yes and person.
Oh, so good.
We were just talking about that at staff meeting this week, that you come to him with an idea and he will sit there and he will think on it and do whatever he can to collaborate with you to make it happen.
Yes. And it's been a joy. I mean, he has solved a lot of issues. We were able to like ping pong off of each other until we figured out, oh my gosh, that's so easy. Let's do that. I am still amazed because when we had publicity photos on the second, I was maybe on stage like a few days beforehand, and I show up for publicity photos and it was like a whole different set. I know Harrison and Jason also, you know, kudos to all of you. You all are just amazing at ALT. But you just stepped up there and they're like, yeah, we had to make sure we got this done. So for photos and then all of a sudden he's getting like a tour of the set from Noah. If this got added and that got added and this with this. And I'm like, this happened in like 48 hours. And now all of a sudden I'm like, well, let me just check these things off my to-do list because I don't have to do that anymore. We're working with a set that we bought. Like I said, we're owning it, and they have just made small touches that the audience probably would never know, but myself and the performers know, and it makes a world of a difference.
Oh, I'm sure even if the audience doesn't realize those things, being a performer on stage and knowing how well you're taken care of, or little things that can help you enhance your character or make you feel more in the moment on stage, those things actually matter, whether the audience can see them or not. So I definitely agree with you in appreciating the technical staff for caring about those things as much as the actors and as much as you do, Callie.
Oh, and they've added some things that Noah was like, so we were, and I was like, oh yes, love it. Let's do this.
Oh my gosh,
and
I love that.
They were like, Brandon did some painting stuff that took it, and I'm like, this is the best. And I was struggling with something. I will say this, I was struggling with a way to end the show because we couldn't do what was basically the script wanted us to do. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then Noah goes, well, this is my idea. And I said, okay, can you get, I mean, I need to see it if it's going to work. And he goes, yeah. And I said, so when do you think you'll get it done? He goes, it'll be ready tomorrow. And I said, okay, well, let's see it and see how it works. And let me tell you, it's good. You latched on to that, and I was like, I'm not opposed to it, but I just want to make sure because it, you know, the show needs to end in a certain way. And he's like, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. And sure enough, the next day it was there, and the entire cast was like, okay. Oh we know how to. We're ending the show now, and that's because of Noah. Noah had an idea of what I was looking for. I didn't know what I wanted, and he came up with a fantastic idea, which Nels is a part of.
Of course,
it's great. It made me giggle. It made me scream. And scream in a good way. So I was like, yeah, we got our show. We've got our final button.
I love that. And while we're talking about that, I just want to take a second to talk to anyone who might be watching this, or if you know someone who might be interested in being a part of ALT. I just want to emphasize the collaborative nature of this place. It's if you're intimidated by showing up to a place where everybody seems to know each other and it feels like it's already an established group of people. No, this group of people changes constantly all the time. There's new people added, you know, people move away. Like, it's just, that's how it works. And once you participate at ALT, you're in for life. Like, that's kind of the way that it works. And so I want to encourage you, if you happen to be watching this, or if you know someone who might be interested in being a part, please send them the link to this little, you know, or screen record and send them this little snippet. that we're a very welcoming, positive, inclusive, collaborative environment. And it's very easy to get plugged in. Even if you don't want to be on stage, if you just want to be behind the scenes only and help paint and, or do ushering and concessions or whatever, there is a place for you.
Yeah.
So I just want to encourage anyone who might be watching to join us, please. There are never enough people around here. We want as many, the more the merrier. We want to include as many people as possible. We've been saying all season, we want ALT to look like the community of Amarillo and the surrounding communities. We want it to look as diverse as it is. That is certainly happening, and we're so thrilled by that. So I just wanted to say that really quickly. But the last thing I want to wrap up with is Callie, if you and Harrison had it your way, what would audiences take away from the show when they leave? It's kind of a tough
He leans
question.
back, I lean forward. We're both
Goodness.
It could be more than one thing.
One thing you want them to take away?
Yeah.
Oh.
How will they be different when they leave than when they arrived? What will have changed for them?
Oh, well, then I can answer that.
Okay.
Not in one word, but
Okay.
I truly hope that when they leave a performance of the play that goes wrong, they have forgotten about their troubles and worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
For sure. There are plenty of those.
Yeah. I think if they can just escape for 2 hours
Mm.
and then just allow the show, I truly just want them to be thinking, oh my God, and then this moment and then that moment and then replaying it and just let that take over their thoughts and their emotions for just a hot second. I would love for that to happen.
Yeah. Harrison?
My hope is that people walk out saying, oh my God, I have to see that again.
There's that too.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will, because especially as we get into Act 2, as the things that have gone wrong start piling up into more disastrous things going wrong, there are at any given moment 4 people having their own struggle that is absolutely hilarious, and you don't know which to focus on.
Yeah.
And so I hope more than anything people come back or leave and say, I have to come back, sit somewhere else, and see that moment from this seat.
Yeah.
I missed that while I was watching this amazing moment over here. I think the conversations that'll start to, like, did you notice this thing? Oh yeah, I didn't notice that, but this other thing.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Right. Yeah. If they can start trying to figure out where, because that was the other thing too, is we were talking that is we had to plan, we had to make sure that certain things happen in the very beginning of the show for a 2-hour payoff.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So we had to be like, oh no, wait, let's go back.
That domino doesn't line up.
Yeah, we have to go back to this page so that we can plan. So like during the whole blocking process, I was thinking not just in this moment, but in 20 pages. We have to prep for that. So the audience, they're going to have to just watch it. But yeah, Harrison's right. Like that conversation of when did that, how did that, did you notice? Well, we better go back and see it again.
Yeah. And speaking of that, again, here are the dates of the show. January 18th, that is next Thursday through Sunday the 28th. And there will be 2 shows on Saturday the 27th. So there will be a 2:30 matinee, and then of course the 8 o'clock show that night. Our Thursday performances are at 7:30 p.m. and our Sunday matinees are at 2:30 p.m. And again, you can call our box office at 806-355-9991 or head over to our website at AmarilloLittleTheater.org to get your tickets. That is all back up and running. You can get your tickets now. For any of these shows, they're going to sell quickly. So please, please hurry and get your tickets. Guys, thank you so much for chatting with me today, Callie and Harrison. It was so great to chat with you. And I am so proud of you for weathering this week. And not just the 2 of you, the entire cast and crew. I just want to extend my gratitude to everybody for getting through it and doing whatever you could to rally around each other to make this happen. And there's so much, there was already so much anticipation around this show. And now I feel like it's built up even more because people are going to want to see like, how in the world are they going to pull this off with this situation happening? If anyone can, it's this group of people for sure. Callie, your mom has one more thing to say. Mary, you are the most supportive. Callie, you are one lucky girl.
Hey, I know this. My mom has been supportive of myself and my sisters from day one. She's never missed a performance until I moved away.
Oh, I love that. Mary, thank you so much for watching Thursdays at 3 today. And guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so grateful that you're here. And I want to wish you, I don't want to say it.
It's fine. We're going to roll with whatever comes our way.
But I just want to wish you guys the most success with the show. You've worked so hard. Mary is at it again with the emojis. We are here for it. Mary, oh my gosh, you're just the greatest. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I wish you all the best for the run of the show. I cannot wait to see it next week. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Thanks
for having us.
See you guys soon. And everybody, thank you for watching Thursdays at 3. Get your tickets for The Play That Goes Wrong. Get your tickets now. You do not want to wait. You want to get great seats for this show. And you're going to want to, for Harrison, come back again and see it again.
Indeed.
Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.